I just vibe coded this beautiful 3D flight simulator game thanks to Rosebud. No downloads, installs, or coding knowledge required. Let me show you how I did it and give you some tips. This was my starting prompt, so simple. Plane flying through procedurally generated clouds in a sky with nice lighting. This was enough to give me something like this. This one prompt actually got me most of the way there, and from there I was able to iterate. Which brings me to my first tip, to make multiple starters. I opened up 5 different tabs with the same initial prompt. This gives you 5 different versions to start off with. Some may work better than others, and it opens you up to new ideas and possibilities you haven't thought of. Tip number 2, roll back often. Rosebud lets you roll back to previous checkpoints by clicking this apply button. There's also a history where you can roll back to separate autosaves. This is way more effective than trying to prompt your way out of a bug or revert changes by prompting. You should also back up your code. You can go to this code tab, highlight everything, copy, and paste them in your favorite notepad or somewhere safe. That way you can always copy and paste it right back into the code and it'll revert and you'll get back to the working stage you were. Tip 3 is debugging. It's inevitable that you'll run into glitches and bugs. You can ask Rosie to write debug logs into the code to help debug. And then you can open up the console dev tools while trying the game with Control-Shift-J or Command-Option-J on Mac. And this will bring up the console where you can copy and paste errors and give them back to Rosie to help you debug. Tip number 4 is specifically for 3D games, and that's to try these things called shaders. They change the visual appearance of how 3D objects are rendered and can add some really cool effects. I added them to my clouds to make them really pop. And finally, I recommend downloading some custom models which will look better than any primitives made through code. I use this website Sketchfab where you can download models for free, use the GLB format, and then you can import them into the Assets tab in Rosie. And tell Rosie to please add the file to the scene by clicking Insert, and then you can say to replace the plane like I did, or maybe like I also added trees. You can see I only have 2 objects here, so you can say as trees on the terrain. And yeah, they're all the tips I had for you. I hope you have fun vibe coding and you make cool games. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. This is all made by Rosebud AI. Check them out through the web. No downloads or installs required. You can also try my flight sim or find the links at techfriend.net.